And then came my 40th birthday. I developed some few pains before that, and it was on the lower right side. And on my birthday, I remember that I had to witness my Chinese performance in this play. There was a big show over there, and I had to go over there. And I was eating this, I had this pain in my stomach. But my husband was busy in office, and I can't take her out on going there. So I said yes, and I managed to go. I still remember that 2.5 hours that I spent. I was watching her. I was very happy about the performance. And from this eyes, my tears were rolling all the time because of the pain. That been so aggressive that time. It was sun directly on us. And the pain, it was unbelievable. And I still remember that, once the function was over, when I was leaving, I lied down on the footpath because I could walk thereafter.
Welcome back, everyone, to another inspiring episode of Believe Beyond Limits. Today, I am so happy and excited to embark on another journey with you guys to share a truly inspiring story. As always, we share stories here about true resilience and true warriors, and today we have nothing less. Today we have the courageous, very astonishing battle of Richa Bansal, an ovarian cancer survivor. Stay tuned with me to learn how she overcame this strenuous battle, resilience, and the courage she has found because of it. Welcome, Richa. Thank you for being willing to share your story with all of us. I know we definitely need the inspiration. Would you like to give a brief introduction about yourself?
Sure, Alma. So I'm Richa. I'm a cancer survivor. And beyond that, I do a lot of other things, activities, hobbies, which probably, down the line I'm going to explain you also. And I'm a mother of two. I'm taking care of my work, office work also, house, home lady as well. And yes.
Wow. So, what brings us here today is Richa recently just overcame our body's, I think, fear of cancer, correct? Ovarian cancer. I think I would say very confidently you had a very difficult past 2 years, but you overcame it brilliantly. So, can you tell us a little bit about your diagnosis? I know to get a diagnosis for such a life-threatening disease when you have children, nonetheless, would have been very devastating. Tell me how you've dealt with that.
So I remember I was approaching my 40th birthday, and I was not very excited about it. I was like, oh my god, I'm 40, and I'm going to cross my 30s and such old age. Never mind, and I was obviously cribbing about the daily stuff here and there, and the way the routine lives are. And then came my 40th birthday. I developed some few pains before that, and it was on the lower right side. And on my birthday, I remember that I had to witness my Chinese performance in this play. There was a big show over there, and I had to go over there. And I was eating this, I had this pain in my stomach. But my husband was busy in office, and I can't take her out on going there. So I said yes, and I managed to go. I still remember that 2.5 hours that I spent. I was watching her. I was very happy about the performance. And from this eyes, my tears were rolling all the time because of the pain. That been so aggressive that time. It was sun directly on us. And the pain, it was unbearable. And I still remember that, once the function was over, when I was leaving, I lied down on the footpath because I could walk thereafter. Then again, I gathered I was getting all phone wishes of my birthday on my friend, and I was just saying thank you. I was very light, and I was saying such words for it. Neither I was able to tell everybody that I'm in a pain right now here. Very different situation, as if I'm going to enter something big, you know. Then I gathered blood, I cleared that pain, and I took a cab and I came to office. And after that, I had to go to hospital. So I reached office. but the plane crashed so massively. And those days were the, that festival times, the doctors would also not have an appointment very easily. Those were very important to have festivals and doctors. So I remember after 3 days, I got the went from the doctor. And 3 days I did the 500 also, 105, 106. We got over this something serious. My husband told me that we are not very good with taking medicines. We want that home was one of the remedies to first get work. So he said we do yoga and everything to take these Ayurvedic medicines or you take some children. Probably it's a gastric issue or anything. But nothing solved and then fever also came. And we had a mangrove treatment. My husband is also having the idea for a commitment. That was also coming within this 2 days down the line. So then I met the doctor finally and I went very smiling there. My hands and I said, "Man, नहीं हो पा रहा." She was my gynae actually. पता नहीं क्या हो गया, आप देख लो. But मैं हंस रही थी. I remember. So she diagnosed and she said, "You go for an ultrasound. It seems to be a case of cyst with a very heavy cyst. I can see on the lower abdomen and just go for an ultrasound. Maybe you have to get operated." I mean, generally good doctor they say that you have this medicine, this, that, right? Nobody just tells you overnight an operation and that is a big one. And organ will be removed. She said, nobody also. Because this cyst has entangled your ovary and it was squeezed and that's why your ovary is held now ovary likes it. And that is the reason because of infection you are having that fever. So I remember it was 9 p.m. I went to the hospital. And we took a special appointment because my 9 p.m. everyone was there, but the case was so urgent. She said, "You can't even wait 1 hour for this. You have to go right now. We have to have you operated here because the infection is severe." So we got the ultrasound appointment and as she predicted, everything was correct. It was a cyst of 8 centimeters, which has squeezed the ovary and the ovary stands dead and the cyst which goes in the ovary. So she said, "Richa, please take the family in this hospital and be approaching for operation." And he had the Mangalore tickets there. So imagine instead of a air ticket for the Mangalore flight, I landed to a bed just in a matter of 4 hours. That was now when I met my package just for 8 hours. Only actually lands. So there's a when we say which talks about aggregation. So they generally do it for every operation. On my C125 was standing at 300 where it should be 30. So that was the first of which we got the ticket to cancel. The CA125 was very important. But anyways, she operated me upon the gynae procedure. So she operated me with the gynae procedure and when I woke up, one of my organs was one of them.
So tell me more about that moment that you just described. You had Bangalore tickets that same day and said you took a trip to the hospital instead. And it wasn't just like usually people, if you have to have your surgery, there's pre-op and people get mentally prepared. Even for a flight, you have to get mentally prepared to stay afloat. You have to fly right away. It's hard, like people get is that one. So tell me about how that when the doctor told you like on the spot, how did it make you feel? Your responsibility to your kids, your work, your husband, man, your other responsibility for put on hold, right? How did that instant, how did it make you feel? Must have made you feel a little bit distressed.
See, whenever there's something like this happens and somebody tells them, I took it very positively, I was happy. Probably the client got their very, very courageous. I mean, I've never seen those things reached in hospital. The first way to deal with the crash is you have to express yourself that you are in Woodlands, need help. Right, and see, there was in the morning before the operation, there was a PET CT scan they had to go through because prior to the operation, you had these days. And that time when I was going inside the machine also, I was telling my husband, I think कुछ नहीं निकलेगा, आप ना टिकट से भी कैंसिल मत करो. 3 घंटे के बाद में फाइल थी और मैं सीटी स्कैन की मशीन में घुस रही हूँ, अब मैं एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं कर रही हूँ. और मेरे को मुझे नहीं लगता वो होगा, वो पेन से शायद कर देंगे ना, अभी मत कैंसिल करना, अभी मत सीटी स्कैन के बाद करना।
I think that's your real thriller to show like the positivity you had on return.
Yeah, you can say that with whatever level of positivity I had, I gave a good demonstration of that. Yes, I cried also at the same time. I was planning that how the your life is going on, how will kids at the back, who's going to take care of them. I called my mother and father that something has happened, please take care of kids. And mother is always in a guilt that who will feed them. I'm not playing with them. I'm not spending time. Instead of my illness, I had that date first. Then, of course, office thing, I had major presentations that time to go. I obviously can't approach office, but my organization was very supportive. They said, well, manage, you should take care of yourself. So, pride vented, my husband was standing, he was holding my hand. It was news to him also. We were just facing it together. But you know what, Amna, this is just a beginning, I'm telling you. That time I was still positive. What has happened later, when it was actually diagnosed that it was not a cyst, it was a tumor that would cancerous AIDS into the development. So, after I got operated, so then we came back home and we were pretty relaxed. And this meeting then also it was a robotic procedure, so it was just a normal stitch and healing quite fast. As you know that I get positive very quickly in life. I just need one with new percent. I mean I will get excited about it. So operation went well, that was good. After a week, when I was on a healing journey, then came the news about this report. So they obviously had a report after that what this cyst all about. So it came out that it was a cancer. And that time we just heard the reports and we just Googled what does carcinoma means and everything and tumor means. And you know how Google is. Just Google and we have no clue. We haven't met the doctor. We have not got the with the doctor directly. The regular reports. I have no clue what I'm going to die from. Will I die or not? Is it chronic? Is it stage based? It is just an attack on it. We've got cancer.
Okay, so your first moment of distress was when your doctor told you you have to go not in a week, you have to go tomorrow for surgery. And then your second rough one was now you were told this. It is indeed cancer. So yeah, of responsibility, what was your reaction? You tried, you vented, you told your friends, did you shut down? What was your reaction?
I had parents and sisters, and I was not having in a family only. I mean, I did not bother much to call and take that much of. I could not be helping much. I mean, I just wanted to be in myself. That was wasting my energy by not getting my hands. And I came very quickly to the point that now I have to find a solution. So my doctor, before the surgery, she said, Richa, how did you survive 5 days with this? It is an emergency situation. You have to get ovary only dead pain is it's very down. It's one of the severe pains that they want to know. So she said we get admissions on the emergency situation when somebody how do you survive 5 days? I said मैं तो योगा करी थी मुझे टमी बेली को आप नीचे करके तो धनुष बांधते हो ना वो योगा मैंने उस टाइम पे किए I don't know how pampered my ovary I must have done that फिर भी मैंने कहा नहीं मैं पेन सीढ़ियाँ में in a rhythm that no probably something better will figure out. Yeah, so it was bad. Yeah.
So you mentioned your husband a couple of times. I mean, when you were not able to come and work, obviously you wanted to go, whether it's for business or pleasure. So throughout your journey, what was your support like? Whether it was family, friends, your kids, your mom, siblings, your relatives, what was that like how important do you think the support was?
So
For company.
yeah, you're right. Once I got the second phase of the treatment when I got the and I got cancer, that is the time when I took all my good people into the list. There's a mentor who stays in Bombay. He's my childhood brother, friend, whatever. It's been I know to me. My family, my parents, they're at 75 and 80 of the age. And they were acting like, of course, they were also devastated. They cried. क्या हो रहा है ये हो रहा है ये fears भी डिस्कस करें But what if it was stood like a rock with them, and I was amazed at somebody who was so old. I need to take care of them, and they instead are taking care of my children and self, and they are rock with all the time here and there. And my husband, I think we checked not less than 20 doctors we must have checked with to ask the solution for this. And everybody said that you now have to get entirely operated, have to get entire doctor surgery, everything will go over. And also we have to do the cleaning with the massive surgery. Because in the PET scan, we have seen that there are certain spread of the disease we have found. So my father, so my husband did everything to get the best of the doctor, roaming here and there, all that. You know how it must have happened in a family where all this strikes. You consult 10 people. You have to manage a job also. He changed his job. It was a more fresh starting for him. But he managed everything very smoothly with this calm and patient mind. So the first time when this news tried that it's cancer, so me and my husband took a leave. And you know, maybe and my children maybe me and my husband was alone in the we were sad, we were low, we didn't know how to react, and I mean, we were able to take Hatta Bani. And my husband was talking to doctors. तो नेफर के साथ जाकर ना मैं बहुत रोने लग गई वहाँ पर अगर वो तो है ना कि थोड़ा बहुत चीजें आपको लगती है just नहीं actually want to come back यार. My husband was sitting on the carpet barefoot like this. You need to see man, right? And when he saw me, he said, कहाँ चले गए थे? Where did you go? As of, you know, जैसे हम expect करते cancer में people will go, वो वाली feeling because he was looking for me, he was calling everybody, I kept my phone there. He didn't realize कि मैं बाहर जा रही मैं गाड़ी में उसको पता नहीं कहाँ. तो his reaction was कहाँ घूम रहे थे कहाँ इतना रोते हैं ना बड़े आंसू मैंने उस टाइम मेरे husband को इस situation को देखा and I did so badly and I rolled like a lion. I said, never I put these tears on my eyes again. I'll never go anywhere. If he would have done something like this with me, I thought it was a bit weird. मुझे कैसे छोड़ दिया सोच के कैसे सब ये कैसे हुआ मेरे साथ. So for him also he was thinking कि मैं क्या अकेले see that time को हमें पता नहीं था क्या वो टेंशन पे है. So that was one of the worst point which I see. हम लोग met hundred of doctors and this and that. और फिर सबने बोला कि आप ऑपरेशन नहीं करवाइए. नहीं बेस्ट solution है इसका. But we never wanted to use secondary and nutrition because a female has a lot of side effects to that. You must be knowing. Then we used to take logics के पुराने time पे भी people used to have this situation मुझे भी कैसे ठीक करते थे या फिर natural remedies से ठीक करते थे. But while I by hopping lost मुझे I will not like any other hopping be lost. And on the second thing test में ना यहाँ पे भी throat में भी cancer इधर भी. So they said that we have to operate the throat also. We cut the thyroid also. All your hormones will go. What will the hormones without hormones your body? It's very difficult for the body to lose weight without hormones. Hormones will age before dying.
Okay, so Richa, but through your diagnosis, what I know, so now you can sit at the other side and well, you cross the tunnel, and you the darkest part of the tunnel is is done with, right? What do you think you learned through your journey? For example, I know you're a beauty queen. We have a Miss Cindy with us. She's sitting here. So tell me about that. Tell me about your journey. You know, like what I'm trying to get at is how you were able to turn this very harsh, very negative reality into something positive. The mindsets, maybe the blessings you were given.
Yeah, absolutely, Amla. So, you remember when there's a machine which has your heartbeat in the hospitals, the graph is like this, right? The same way it is a life graph actually. Once you have a low, you will know that you should know that you're going to touch your high also. And after the high, the low will also come. You know, you should be prepared for this. So once my the surgery, one surgery was done, and we was diagnosed with the cancer then. Like I said, that there's a craft to everything. So when I was diagnosed with cancer, that was my lowest point. And when doctors told me I have to go for another surgery and everything, that really was a devastating time. But then we met a doctor who was a natural therapist and said that the spread is not to that extent right now. We can cure it with natural therapies. So I had a good discussion, long discussion over the phone with him, and he gave me like 10 number of detox the way. So he said that we need to detox our body. So all our vessels and everything has been blocked now. We need to detox so that these toxic things can go out of your body. So detox is again not easy. There's a proper regime. You have to be on a millet diet, proper millet diet. You cannot see, smell sugar. I mean, sugar, you have to be away from sugar, absolutely. Even shakkar, anything. You have to have homemade food. Then there were other things like wheatgrass powder, beetroot powder, manjishta. All this has to be mixed together and taken in the morning with karele ka juice. All and a lot of other things I can't even tell you. I mean, haldi capsules, then yoga, meditation, chlorophyll. There's a chlorophyll, plant-based chlorophyll tonic which comes. It is very helpful for fighting and oxidizing your body. Iodine, spring water, gaumutra. Are you aware about the gaumutra?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm like, no way.
I did that for continuously like 3 months. I did that morning gaumutra, haldi, and all this. My day used to start. Suddenly, from a momo freak, street momo freak, I turned to this regime. I did not touch food for maida, atta. Also, you can forget. I was completely on millet-based food. Now, what happened because of the detoxification? Obviously, I used to take steam every day, so that skin detox happened. So, with all this regime, I started losing weight at a speed of 1.5 kilometer every day. I was 62, 63 kgs when it all started, and I landed up to 50 kgs in the matter of 1 month. 25 to 1 month. Yeah. It was a sudden transformation. My face squeezed. I was a plump girl. From 65 to 50, you can imagine in 1 month, people were not even recognizing me. But I was very happy because I was struggling for this weight loss since ages. कितना बढ़ता कम होता था 500 ग्राम जितना डाइटिंग कर लो इतना कम होता था now suddenly my weight is lost. I was fitting into all my old clothes. I never threw them. I was so happy I'm fitting in my clothes. It was a different feeling altogether. And then since childhood I used to do catwalk in my family, in front of my family. I used to like the glamour. So I thought that why not to appear for a beauty pageant. Since I've lost weight, I had that confidence. And then in the month of April, I appeared for it. I applied, I appeared. It was a 3 day stay. It was a massive training they gave. There was a talent show, a talent round, what or not was included. And on the D-Day, they crowned me. And everybody, and my relative, my husband, they said that whatever you think you have proven, you have done it. I mean, who thinks you will be becoming Mrs. India? Though the pageant was not at national level, but somebody who is surviving from the cancer right now is becoming a beauty pageant. So this is how
That's so amazing. I just need to reiterate that point. From a journey in cancer, she was able to take her weight loss, and we'll soon learn about something else, turn it into something positive and be happy about it. All the while she's fighting cancer. That's so courageous and that's so inspiring.
Thank you, Amla. And one more positive thing turned up. I told you that there was another thyroid cancer which was diagnosed in the PET scans. So doctors told me we can take it later stages, but right now your ovary removal is very important. But I opted for a natural therapy, right? And all this. With this natural therapy, so I was constantly under the test. Every 3 months, I used to have ultrasounds and PET scans done regularly so that the cancer should not go to a limit. So those tests were on. It's not that I was entirely dependent on the natural therapies. So in those tests, thyroid cancer was removed with my yoga, with all
Wow.
this natural therapy. So I actually saved my at least thyroid.
Another thing to point out, natural cures do really work, guys.
Yes. See, what has to happen has to happen. God has designed everything and planned for you. But natural therapies did work in my favor. because of lost weight, healthy regime, thyroid cancer getting automatically removed. It has not come back yet. I mean, no other pets are just, yeah, touch wood. Yeah. So, you can go for the next. Now I will tell you about the revive. वापस कैसे आया वो next question आएगा ना इसके बाद कैसे वापस आया.
So, so I missed your high of doing the beauty pageant, and later you were diagnosed again that the cancer, although it's removed here, it would continued spreading in your ovaries. So let's talk about that journey and what was your reaction with that? Did your journey with your natural remedies?
So, Alma, I was, as part of natural therapies, I was taking vitamin C dosages, drips. Now, when you say vitamin C, there are medicines also, which gives you in milligrams. The lemon gives you in milligrams, the vitamin C. For me, we required vitamin C in a very huge quantity because to fight out the cancer immunity. So, these were all part of natural therapies, which I was doing. So, I used to go to the clinic to get the drips done. It was 3 hours drip of vitamin C, which was around 20 or so liters. It was not in milligrams, it was that huge 30 liters, 60 liters drip. And it is something like a natural chemotherapy, it's vitamin C, the drips I used to take. So I used to faint, vomit, dehydrate. I had to go to washrooms very often. So I used to remove the syringe, go to the washroom, come back again. It was clear. So I took like 25 vitamin C dosages like that. But since we were healing, the PET scans were coming good. It was showing a sign of reduction. We were going with full faith on natural therapies. But again, in the month of June, uh, I had my PET scan due. We got my PET scan, and to our shock, the metabolic activities increased by 40% suddenly within the matter of 2 months. Everything was regular, nothing was haywire. How come back now when you have strong faith on something, okay, and it's going well also, and suddenly it comes back with a more aggressive energy? Don't you feel a betrayal there?
Yeah.
Yeah, your doctor who was advising you, who was hand holding you all the time, you feel cheated कि क्यों commit किया, risk था, तुमने क्यों बोला कि नहीं तुम 100% फ्लोर हो जाओगे. Again that low moment, that andhera came in my life. And this time also it had spread very massively. So that, like last time, doctor said you don't have time, you have to get it removed immediately. Will do the entire cleaning. We will Now this time it won't be a small slit. We are going to have an open surgery. We'll cut your stomach into half. We'll remove all the organs and we'll see where all the spread has happened. We'll do the cleaning there. We might have to put a chemical also inside and keep your body for some time like that. Intensive operation. Now this was scary because last time was not that intensive. And I remember that we had to take a decision. We could not delay because now it was a life threatening thing. So I took a decision. Deepak, we are going with the operation, and we got admitted. We got our pre-test done. So the day I was getting my pre-test done, and the same day in the night I had to get operated. My admission was supposed to happen that day. You'll not believe, I said, Deepak, I don't know when I'm going to get up again. So I'm going to make this day very joyful. I'll do a Bollywood in hospital. You become Shah Rukh Khan. I'll dance from one room to the other in my test. I'm going to go like dancing here and there, and you become Shah Rukh Khan like this. So we're going to create that scene. I know it is kiddish. I know it, but I think for me, that was the way to deal with it. That is the only way I could have distracted myself that what I'm going to go through. Imagine if somebody tells you that your stomach will be cut into half and we're going to remove your organs and do the cleaning. I can't see blood even in TV. Normal blood drop I can't see, and now my body is going to get operated. So I thought this is the way. Let me have a Bollywood day theme that day, and I was very cheerful. I was meeting the doctors. Doctor said, are you the patient? Are you the one who's going to get operated? Then everybody used to give me some knowledge which they have. We had a good communication with all the doctors. So one came out, he gave me Gita Sar. The other guy was a Muslim doctor. He said that uh, वो उन्होंने अपना मुझे जागन्स दिए। तो सब ऐसे लग रहा था कि वहाँ पे स्पिरिचुअल एनर्जीज के मैसेंजर्स हैं कि डोंट डोंट वरी, जस्ट गो, हो जाएगा तेरा। ऐसे मैसेंजर्स मुझे मिल रहे थे वहाँ पे। सो रात को जब मेरा एडमिशन था, सो माय जीजा जी केम एंड ही सेड आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू हैव फूड अनलेस एंड अंटिल योर ऑपरेशन इज थ्रू। तब तक मैं खाना नहीं खाऊंगा। मेरे इतने वेल विशर्स, माय dearest friends. So, this is also a story. One of my lost friend of college days. I was searching for her for 13 years. I was contacting her social media. I was sending emails to her, but she was never responding. Now, in this entire journey, after my first operation, she suddenly, out of a blue, called me one day and said, Richa, I'm back. How come? She was my bestie? I was missing her so much all the times. How come? So these were all the energies which were gathering my spirits, my encouragement, my confidence back to me. I was getting those signs कि कोई तो मुझे चला रहा है ऊपर से। तो that friend of mine and her husband, they decorated my entire room with beautiful children pictures, the beauty pageant which I won, पूरा फ्लावर्स, बलून्स, ऐसे लग रहा था बर्थडे पार्टी का रूम है मेरा हॉस्पिटल रूम। तो कोई मुझे हँसाए जा रहे थे, कोई मुझे उदास ही नहीं होने दे रहा था। पूरा एस्कॉर्ट था मेरे साथ वहाँ पे रूम में, ऐसे गिगलिंग हो रही है, अगले दिन ऑपरेशन है, यहाँ पे फन चल रहा है इन लोगों का। सो दैट इज़ द वे द पेन वेंट ईज़ी।
Wow. So, in your whole story, I'm hearing a lot of messengers,
Yeah.
your energy, spirits, and no coincidences. Your friend get reappeared. Um, tell me, what is the how did spirituality act in your journey? Was How supportive was that? How important was spirituality for you? Like in instilling faith and in, like you said, you were being joyous. That in it, just being joyous in itself in such a hard circumstance is amazing. Where do you get that strength? I mean, can you talk about that a little bit?
You know, when we talk about spirituality, it doesn't mean that there's a, so people often confuse it with religion. Religion is something, it is a practice of how to gain that wisdom and spirituality sense. It is a practice, probably somebody would like to do mantras, yagya, fine, that is the process. Somebody would do meditation, somebody would do, rest of the stuff. These are just the steps to attain that wisdom of understanding of spirituality. Spirituality, as such, spirituality is actually that, greater than myself, which is operating around there. You do not have control on certain things and somebody is operating for you. That understanding that you are part of that bigger divine energy is, according to me, spirituality, which is not a 1 day or 2 day game. It is your own experience which will teach you that. Like I said that, I was getting messages, my in the hospital in the second month. So I was in ICU that night when the operation happened. It happened for 13 hours and it was a massive one.
Oh.
And then I was shifted to so it started in the morning and at 9:10 p.m. I was shifted to ICU.
I remember that operation. I was chanting for you too. So that's a part of your spirituality. How important is that to you?
Absolutely. So these are your blessings. These are your chants. Duai.
Definitely not just mine, but how important is your practice of chanting? How important is your faith in the universal power? How important is that too? And in your journey, how much did you rely on that?
How it happened that, I was shifted to the ICU that night. And as I said, prior to that day only, I was starting getting messages from all the doctors as the messengers that, everything will be fine. That day in the ICU, I was having intense pain. Pain which is unbearable, the way the lady has it when she's delivering a baby, that kind of pain. And I was all in wires from nose, from this, from that. I was immobile, when I opened my eyes, I was immobile. And it was intense pain which I was going through that time. I could not even voice it out. There was nobody in the ICU room. I was like, now is the time कि मुझे ना अभी ना उठा लो. अब तो नहीं ये पेन हो रहा मुझसे, प्लीज आप ले लो. कोई भी नहीं है, किसी को बोल नहीं पा रही, ना ये पेन बियर हो रहा, हिल नहीं पा रही हूँ मैं. ऐसे तो नहीं चलेगा काम. उसके बाद one of my spiritual belief, I saw that from the ceiling, I saw that energy entering into me. You may call it hallucination, subconscious, imagination, I don't know. But I saw some energy entering into my body. And when you are in so much of pain, you will not have these random imaginations. Now you're all engrossed in your pain. How come I saw that thing entering into my body? And then after 20 minutes, the nurses came and I was all fine. Pain went off. They said, we can't increase your painkillers because we are already giving you a very high dose. But thanks to that, within that 20 minutes, when I saw that energy coming into me, it was all fine. And that was my lowest. And then I came high again back, then I was smiling. My husband came, I was grinning on him. कि जब आप लो नहीं देखोगे ना आप वो हाई नहीं एंजॉय कर पाओगे वो मैंने इतना दर्द देख लिया वो मैं कहा अभी तो बहुत खुश हूँ मैं
Okay.
Yeah.
Richa, can you tell us how you distracted yourself?
Yes, so firstly after the second surgery which happened, so we were not expecting chemos to happen because they said it's a low grade cancer, chemos won't affect you. But then we realized that okay, fine. Last chapter, and chemos was the most dreadful thing in the entire journey because since day one, when I heard about cancer, I was like, chemos hona padega mujhe. And eventually, wo fear bhi I had to face chemos also. I landed up in having chemos also. Now, see, when you have a surgery, it is a massive 10 days pain, and then you start healing and all that stuff, right? But yeah, chemos is a 6 months continuous cycle. You just get between 5 to 6 days where you are feeling fit and fine because after during the chemo and after 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 days, your entire body swells up. You have to have daily injections, and you have severe pains, unbearable pains. Your body cracks like anything. What or not vomits, this, that. So it is very devastating. But then is the time when after 6 days, 7th day, you start improving a little bit. And then I thought that between two chemos, I have got those 5 days where I will make a checklist of myself. And this is one message I really want to pass on to viewers. Whenever you're facing the situation, make a checklist of what you have always wanted to do and start doing it because you have all the free time. You just have to bear your illness. Rest, your family has freed you, your organization has freed you from all the work. Your health is important, and now is the time you can do your checklist. So what all I have done, I as I said, I was very interested in modeling and pageant, so I did a photo shoot. I was paid for that, and I was paid for my bar looks more than my hair looks. I did a branding for a one of the very popular brand, Nora Fashion. I did their branding. Then I love cricket. My World Cup was being witnessed that time, so my husband took me to two World Cup matches.
Wow.
Yes, if I would have been normal, trust me, I was have been in my normal office life, children life. I would have never witnessed. But because all this was happened, we went to the World Cup. We went to the final World Cup also. We lost. No, never mind. But then on my birthday, my husband called the guitarist at home. I love music. He played songs for me. He turned out to be suddenly a very romantic guy, which was he was never in the last 17 years. Then I started writing poems. The poems were very silly, like Twinkle Twinkle types, but I started writing poems for each and every relationship who has mattered to me in this entire time. My doctors, my husband, my parents, my friends, my mentors. I wrote personalized, I framed that, I decorated that, and I gifted to them. Each word was coming straight from my heart. I dated my sisters, my cousins, my friends who I have not met for ages. I said that we're so everybody used to say yes because of my situation. हाँ हाँ हम आ रहे हैं तेरे लिए वो पैम्पर मुझे बहुत मिलता था सब yes बोलते थे और मैंने वो खूब एक्सप्लॉइट करा है उनको. Then I explored the spiritual world. I did meditation courses. I traveled like a freak. I traveled with my parents. I traveled alone also. I did that there also that मुझे अकेले ट्रैवल करना है वो भी किया. पेरेंट्स के साथ लॉन्ग लिव ताकि मैं उनको कहीं घुमाऊँ वो भी किया मैंने. फिर मैंने रेसिपीज़ नई-नई ट्राई करी. मुझे कुकिंग का शौक भी हो गया. I started trying new recipes for my children. They loved it. I played random games with my children. I started spending hell lot of time with them. I did shopping like crazy. That used to give me good hormones, happy hormones. I as I said, I started learning investments, how to do good buys and investments, equities, properties. I invest. I also did e-auction in property. Who does all that? A woman I've never seen,
Yeah.
heard is doing an e-auction, participating in e-auction. Then I learned bachata dance. I did pranic healing courses. I used to have late night solo drives that used to heal me. Then my friend came to India after a long time. I did a late night parties with them, and nobody stopped me. My parents and others used to say, "No, you're not supposed to go outside at night." But this time, no, no, to जी ले अपनी जिंदगी. So modeling, branding, everything and anything in my checklist, I used to just do a check mark. आज ये कर लिया, आज ये accomplishment हो गई, आज ये हो गया. It is so satisfying.
I think that's so commendable, and I'm so glad that you're sharing that with us, because I think your positivity also came from that. When you have something to look forward to, you get a little bit motivated, Hannah. So I think that the the checklist that you're sharing with us and the recipe you're sharing with us for how you maintained your positivity is really inspiring, and it's really needed by us, and thank you for sharing.
Right. It's fun, The moment you're low, you have pain. Okay, मैं आपका बॉम्बे बुक कर देता हूँ.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, आप बचाता लर्न कर लो. तो कोई मुझे पेन को एक्सपीरियंस ही नहीं करने का टाइम मिला. I just started covering my checklist. Yeah. So that's the, everybody have their own sufferings, okay? But between the sufferings, we get some ups. We have some high points. कि ठीक है, आज मैं थोड़ा better feel कर रही हूँ. Just encash that high point. उसको इनकैश करके यू कैन कम मेक योर कमिंग टाइम्स ऑल्सो ईजियर. जब आप हेल्दी फील कर रहे हो, बेटर फील कर रहे हो, उसको जाने मत दो बस.
Okay, Richa. So, in closing, I want to ask you, you've shared with us your recipe for success in overcoming such a challenging situation. But tell us a little bit about how you've changed your perspective, and what was the aid in your perspective, James, from why me to I have this, I've got this, I can do this, and I am on top of the world. Tell me about that perspective change. I'm 40 and I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm just only 40 and I have so many more years to live. Tell me about that perspective change.
Actually, it's a beautiful question. It is actually a summary of the entire thing. So the last 2 years which I have seen, I call it, I no longer call cancer as a disease. It was a life-changing event for me. This 2 years which I have witnessed. So as I just began my story by saying that, oh my God, मैं 40 हो रही हूँ, I'm going so old. Now my perspective has changed कि shit, मैं 40 तो थी बस और मुझे कैंसर हो गया था. So instead of relishing, I started seeing the positive side of the things. And yes, you're very right. This question banged my head every time I used to go low. Why me? Why me? And trust me, now I have all the answers. Everybody is having their own struggles. Mine is visible with this disease, but any XYZ person would have different, which probably they are not able to share also. So we are all heroes in our own lives. But with this journey which I've gone through, the experience, the way I've learned how to deal with these situations, the way I've learned how much more we are than ourselves, how much potential we are. Now, after this disease, earlier I used to only do office work and kids. Now I'm cooking also, I'm doing my social life also, I'm doing 10 other assignments I've taken in my hand, property, this, that, what all not, I'm busy learning bike, dance. अब मैं यही सब चीजें उसी टाइम में कर लेती हूँ. आई एम मैनेजिंग 100 things and I'm giving the most of my attention. It is just the way of outlook.
Great. So so happy. Perfect. She was able to change her perspective. She no longer looks at this as cancer, life-threatening illness, but cancer, life altering challenge, and changed her life in a positive way. Richa, I really thank you for sharing your story with us and inspiring so many of us, being strong enough, courageous enough to share your story. And I know it's going to help so many people out there.
My only thing is that, guys, live your journey. You'll live it positively. and you'll get your all answers of why you. Just wait. You'll get your answers. I got mine.
Thank you, Richa.
Thank you so much.